Hey everyone. Welcome back to Unheard Stories, the channel where we dive into some of the most unbelievable tales of love, betrayal, and revenge. Before we jump into today's gripping story, I want to know, where are you watching from? Drop your country or city in the comments below. If you love stories that keep you on the edge of your seat, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Let's hit 100,000 subscribers together. I know we can make it happen with your support. Today we're talking about Adam, a man whose fiancée, Sophie, dropped a bombshell just months before their wedding. What started as a dream romance spiraled into a nightmare of betrayal and an unforgettable act of revenge. Let's get started. Adam, 34, and Sophie, 33, had a relationship that seemed like a fairy tale. They grew up as childhood friends, their families were close, and over time their friendship blossomed into romance. By the time they were teenagers, everyone assumed they were meant to be together. Life had other plans though. Adam pursued a career in engineering which took him to Tokyo for several years. Sophie, meanwhile, stayed in their hometown to complete her nursing degree. Though they tried to maintain a long-distance relationship, the pressures became too much, and they decided to part ways. But even while dating other people, they both knew their bond was special, and their paths would cross again. When Adam returned home after years abroad, he and Sophie reconnected. By this time, Sophie had ended a long-term relationship, and the timing seemed perfect. Their families were ecstatic to see them together again, and within 2 years Adam proposed. Sophie said yes, and their wedding was set for June 2020. However, cracks began to show in their seemingly perfect relationship. During his time in Tokyo, Adam had experienced a very different dating culture, which made him more casual about intimacy. Sophie, though excited to marry him, began to feel insecure about their differences in experience. These insecurities festered, leading to a conversation that would change everything. One evening, Sophie nervously brought up the idea of a temporary open relationship. She admitted that she felt unprepared to settle down without gaining more experience. "I just need to know that I'm not missing out," she said, emphasizing that Adam was still the love of her life. Adam was stunned. The suggestion felt like a betrayal in itself. Furious, he told her that if she pursued this idea, their relationship would be over. The tension between them only grew, and the once loving connection they shared felt irreparably damaged. The days following Sophie's suggestion were fraught with unease. They barely spoke, and Adam struggled to understand how the woman he loved could propose something so devastating. His trust in Sophie began to erode, and the air between them was thick with unspoken conflict. Then came the moment that changed everything. While organizing some papers at home, Adam stumbled upon a hotel reservation under Sophie's name. The date matched a night she had claimed to be working late at the hospital. Suspicion and dread washed over him. Was Sophie already acting on her suggestion of an open relationship? Adam couldn't let it go. He confided in Paul, his mentor and close friend, who suggested confronting Sophie directly. But Adam wanted proof first. That evening he drove to the hotel and waited in the parking lot. When Sophie arrived, dressed casually instead of in her work uniform, Adam's worst fears were confirmed. He didn't confront her face to face. Instead, he called her room from the lobby. When she answered, he said, "It's over, Sophie. I know everything." He hung up before she could respond, walking out with a mix of rage and heartbreak. Their relationship, which had seemed destined for marriage, was over in an instant. The breakup left Adam reeling. Overwhelmed by the betrayal, he decided to leave town to clear his head. He booked a flight to Bali, where he hoped to find solace amidst the beautiful beaches and vibrant culture. But no matter how far he went, the pain followed. In Bali, Adam spent his days reflecting on the relationship and his nights trying to escape his thoughts in the bustling nightlife. Conversations with strangers, long walks along the shore, and moments of introspection helped him begin the slow process of healing. Still, the anger lingered, and he couldn't stop replaying Sophie's betrayal in his mind. After a month, Paul reached out with an opportunity. "Come back to Tokyo," he said. "We have work for you and it'll give you something to focus on." Grateful for the distraction, Adam agreed. He spent the next year in Japan, throwing himself into his career and distancing himself from anything that reminded him of Sophie. He avoided social media, news about their shared social circles, and even family gatherings where Sophie might be mentioned. A year later, Adam's father suffered a major health scare, requiring triple bypass surgery. Adam knew he had to return home to be with his family, even though the thought of facing Sophie again filled him with dread. Memories of their relationship haunted him as he settled back into his hometown. Paul encouraged Adam to seek closure, suggesting that he meet Sophie one last time. Reluctantly, Adam reached out and Sophie agreed to have dinner with him. When she walked into the restaurant, Adam felt a rush of conflicting emotions: anger, sadness, and a strange sense of nostalgia. Their conversation started awkwardly but eventually turned to the past. Sophie apologized sincerely, explaining that her insecurities and fear of not being enough for Adam had led her to make terrible decisions. "I'll regret hurting you for the rest of my life," she said, tears streaming down her face. Adam listened, and while her words didn't erase the pain, they brought him clarity. He forgave her, not to rekindle their relationship, but to free himself from the resentment that had weighed him down. By the end of the evening, they agreed to remain cordial for the sake of their families, but both knew they could never go back to what they had. Adam's journey wasn't easy, but it taught him invaluable lessons about trust, self-respect, and the importance of boundaries. Sophie's betrayal had shattered their relationship, but it also propelled Adam toward a path of self-discovery and resilience. Over time he rebuilt his life, focusing on his career and personal growth. Now that you've heard Adam's story, we want to hear from you. What would you have done if you were in Adam's shoes? Do you think forgiveness was the right choice, or should he have cut ties completely? Here are a few questions to consider. Would you have confronted Sophie the same way Adam did? Do you think Sophie's insecurities justified her actions, or were they completely inexcusable? How would you have handled the situation differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your perspectives on these real-life dilemmas. Your insights might even help someone else going through a similar situation. And hit the like button if you found this story compelling. Subscribe to Unheard Stories for more dramatic, thought-provoking tales. Share this video with friends who enjoy exploring the complexities of relationships and betrayal. Let's keep the conversation going and create a space where we can all learn, grow, and connect through these shared experiences. Thank you for being part of our Unheard Stories family. See you in the next story.